Hello, Kate here. Today I'm going to show you how I dealt with moisture issues in the basement when it comes to flooring. I'm going to show you the type of underlayment I used and why I used it for the basement. And then in a future video, I'm going to show you how I laid the laminate flooring on top of it. But for now, let's go take a look at how I discovered these moisture issues. Came down to the gym this morning to do a quick workout and realized out of the corner of my eye that there was brown on my molding. So it definitely looks like water. I can see here I've got some of the laminate floor separating. So there's definitely been some water pooling up underneath and warping the floorboards. Unfortunately, this is right near my drainage in the basement here. So all my furnace excess moisture drains into this here. I don't know if maybe it pooled up, but this looks pretty bad. So I'm gonna have to do a few things, replace the door jambs here, and I think the only way for me to figure out where the water's coming from and what the issue is taking the floor apart, at least in this section, which means I have to get a new floor because I do not have enough to replace these spots. I'm about to start ripping up the basement floor. So this is the part that I think has been affected by water because the boards are starting to warp up on the edges. So I am wearing a mask and I'm gonna be wearing gloves. It's just necessary when you're potentially dealing with mold. Here's a list of all the tools and materials that I used for removing the old vinyl floor and then laying the new underlayment. This is green tape, so this is painter's tape that they use to secure this stuff to the floor. It's not even fully lined, so there's clearly been a lot of water here. There's mildew all over this tape, so I gotta get this out of the house ASAP. If you're doing it yourself, do a lot of research, use the right products. Oh my gosh, this is worse than I thought, and I'm sorry if you can't hear me, but my mask is on. There was a ton of water here. This is really bad. It's right near the furnace. Let's take a look at what I've exposed here. On this side, you can see there's a bit of water damage on the floor. Now I remember exactly what this is from. It's years ago from the sump pump that was on the side of the house. When I did take off the floor, I found the paint was wet underneath, which indicates it never really had a chance to dry, did it? So I'm gonna start getting rid of all the mold with the mold killer. Then I'm gonna let it dry for about a week. Hopefully not 2 weeks. I'd like to see if any water seeps in with a torrential downpour, so that'd be really nice. But I'm not covering this up until I know 100% I don't have any more water issues. The floor has been open for about 6 months now, and I'm finally ready to lay the flooring because I purchased it. So I've got the underlayment here, which I'm putting down. Okay, it's the same as kind of DMX. This one's a Delta FL, made by Dorkin. It's an awesome name. It comes with some tape that you can seal the 2 pieces together, or 3 pieces or 4 pieces, however many you need. I've already cut that first piece, I cut the right angles, and now I'm gonna do just a straight cut 133 inches across and keep going until I've covered the whole floor, and then I can get to laying the laminate flooring. The reason I'm using this type of underlayment in the basement is because I've had past moisture issues. So I had water that kind of seeped in from a sump pump, and it did cause some mold issues, but I've left these floors open for about 6 months. I've had tons of rain, never had any sort of issue with moisture getting in because I've been able to see the floor, the cement floor. So what's great about this underlayment is that there's space in between all these bubbles that elevate it from the floor. So if I do get moisture on the floor underneath this padding here, it will have an opportunity to dry. Whereas if you have something flat against the cement, then it's going to be a lot tougher for it to dry, so it may create mold. So this is a really good solution, especially for my basement, and it's super easy to use, other than trying to get it flat. That's the only part I've had a little bit of trouble with, but yeah, I'll show you how to cut it and use it now. All you need to cut it is a utility knife or an X-Acto knife. Now that I have 2 pieces cut of the underlayment, I'm going to seal them together using the tape that was provided with the underlayment that I bought. Every package that you get should have the tape with it, so you won't have to buy it in addition to the underlayment. This last piece of the first roll that I've used on the floor is really hard to keep flat. So what I'm going to do is I'm putting it upside down, which I've already done, and I have weight on either side just to make it a little bit flatter. It's been in that position for so long, you know, since it was made, so it'll make installing it a little bit easier. How are you? Huh? How are you? I wanted to give you a little bit of a close-up before I tape up the last piece. So what I did every time I added a piece down is I overlapped it slightly. So one piece was sticking into the old piece that I was already laying, and then you tape it over top and it's almost like one solid piece. And then just going out of the room, I kind of cut into the last piece a little bit. I'll be sealing this up, and then I have the whole rest of the basement to do after this room. So now I'm going to be good to lay the laminate flooring. I hope you found this video helpful. Stay tuned, as I'll be posting a secondary video to this where I show how I laid laminate flooring on top of this underlayment. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button down there. You can also follow me on Instagram at KDA_designs. Thank you for watching.